Hello, hello. Kip Prokopenko is here, along with Oleksiy Denisenko. And in today's episode, we want to introduce profit whales and a full funnel marketing approach. We are going to explain why the full funnel marketing approach is important and why profit whales. Let's go. First and foremost, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Kip Prokopenko, the CTO of Profit Whales.
And I'm Oleksiy. I'm Business Development Manager at Profit Whales.
So let's talk about full funnel marketing approach and why is it important right now on Amazon.
Yeah, so full funnel marketing is basically a key right now on Amazon because, as you know, it has become super competitive. And the only way for you to stand out and actually survive on Amazon is to use that full funnel marketing approach. Rather than just spending your time and money focusing on sponsor products, you should definitely think of other ways to target your clients at the bottom of the funnel and also not forget about the top of the funnel. So, in this episode, we'll talk about how you should do that on Amazon wisely and what is the actual approach to becoming a full marketing funnel brand on Amazon.
Amazon sellers have been focusing only on conversions, which falls into bottom of the funnel. But as more and more brands started flocking into Amazon ecosystem, brands and sellers must differentiate themselves in order to stand out. And this is when different ad product types.
Sounds good, Kip, but could you please elaborate on those ad product types? What are those?
Oh, absolutely, Alexi. So we all know about PPC, right? And then this is sponsored products. And additionally, we have sponsored brands, sponsored display, and two newest kids on the block, sponsored TV and GSP.
And which ones do you consider to be bottom of the funnel and which ones are top of the funnel?
Sure. As I just mentioned, sponsored products is bottom of the funnel, and the top of the funnel would be your DSP, sponsored TV, and sponsored display.
Yeah, so I guess you mentioned all of them, but what about sponsor brands?
Ha, that was intentionally done because sponsor brands may sound like it belongs to top of the funnel, but it also flows into mid funnel, which is a consideration stage of the marketing funnel.
Yeah, and Kip, for the new sellers, for people who just joined Amazon, what do you think is the most important ad type to start with?
Of course, sponsored products is your best friend, but also don't forget about sponsored brands and sponsored display. Why? Because they help to remarket, protect your listing from competitors, boost consideration and brand awareness. Why? Because those two ad product types allow catching shoppers early in the purchasing journey, which is super, super important. It helps to reduce that coveted cost per click. And also, it ensures that your brand stays top of the mind when shoppers are finally ready to make that purchase decision. Sponsored brands and sponsored display help with remarketing, help with protecting your listing from competitors, help with boosting consideration and brand awareness. And the way those two product types do this, they allow your brand to catch shoppers early in the purchasing journey. This way, you can reduce your cost per click and ensure that your brand stays top of the mind when shoppers are finally ready to make that purchase decision.
Yeah, Kip, but it seems like the sellers have to be prepared before launching SB and SD campaigns, right? So, what do they actually need to have in order to successfully launch these ads?
Uh, we are not talking just about Amazon, right? Amazon Marketplace. This is a foundational discussion about your brand identity, core value proposition of your product, meaning that you have to do a proper customer research. You need to validate all your customer pain points. And based on the outcomes of that research, now you can build your brand.
Yeah, so from what it looks like, for the sellers, they should start with sponsored products, establish their brand, their identity, and then move on to SB and SD campaigns, right? So I guess this is just like a second step. What about the third step? So is the third step a DSP and sponsored TV?
Uh, it's slightly different for Amazon ecosystem. You know, if you launch your campaigns outside of Amazon, then yes, you want to make sure that top of the funnel is launched prior to consideration.
All right, so it seems like you're reversing the funnel. So you just said that you're starting from the conversion ad types, right? So SP is the first one, and then you move on to SD and SB campaigns. So I guess you kind of reverse the funnel. So on Amazon, does it work differently?
When you launch your product on Amazon, you have to actually take a bottom up approach as opposed when you launch your products outside of Amazon with top down approach. Why? Because your brand needs to get a share of voice in terms of keywords and conversions prior to launching upper funnel campaigns. Otherwise, you'll find yourself wasting a lot of ad dollars without any meaningful results.
Which ad type do you think has the highest return on investment?
Well, the answer is obvious: sponsored products.
Okay, so I've got two questions for you. So, which ad type do you think has the highest return on investment, and which ad type is probably the most expensive one to launch?
Well, sponsored products is the ultimate driver for your conversion because it is heavily reliant on keywords, but you should not underestimate DSP, right? Yes, DSP is much more expensive, and at times it's challenging to attribute conversions to DSP, but you should not underestimate the power of DSP because DSP gives you a tremendous scale and brand awareness for, but your brand must be ready before launching campaign in DSP.
And when you say ready, what do you actually mean?
This is a very good question, and it leads us into a second part of today's discussions around conversion rate optimization and brand stores.
Oh yeah, absolutely. These two are the most important topics for me and for most of the sellers, and I think these topics are crucial because uh, CRO optimization and your storefront is basically about conversion, right?
Yes.
While PPC is mostly about the traffic and your brand awareness, exposure, and actual impressions. So before you actually start spending thousands and thousands of dollars on your PPC, you need to make sure that you have a strong buy box, a strong product, and that basically your CRO is up to date. Because if you're simply going to launch the ads to a listing that's not up to date and that doesn't show the quality of your product, then the risk of you losing that money is super, super high.
Maybe you can show us what a good listing looks like and what a good front store looks like.
Sure. So I've prepared two use cases. One of them is actually our brand that we're managing, and the other one is basically an example of how the listing shouldn't exist on Amazon. So
Very
here
cool.
in front of you, we've got a bird balm by Bossman Brands, and this is actually a brand that we worked with, and it just shows you the potential of how good your listing can be. So essentially, Bossman has utilized every possible place on their listing, every possible feature that Amazon allows you in order to actually package their content properly. So you can actually see that they've got 5 images, they've got brand video, right? They've got very, very slick design, amazing graphics. They've got a very detailed description with bullet points, no fuss, no actual, emojis or nothing like that. Everything is up to date and straightforward. And most importantly, they also got a very strong premium A content, which actually helps you to do that remarketing that you have mentioned previously, and helps you to also raise that brand awareness and associate the customer with your products. So this is why it's very important to maintain that level of a strong product and show your customers that you do have a strong buy box. And by buy box, I actually mean that you do have reviews, you do have a strong rating, and you do have customer comments and reviews in the bottom section. All of this plays a huge part when you want to upsell and also um, actually catch the customer on a long-term basis. So, and the complete comparison and complete opposite is the other brand that I wanted to show you, which is also a bird balm. So the products are very similar, but you could actually see that they've got no videos. The images are of bad quality, no background, no proper marketing.
What's the name of this brand that we are looking right now at?
Yeah, it's Don Juan. You can just click on the storefront and actually compare them as well. So here I can click on Bossman brands as well in order to show you the difference of how they upsell their products.
Let us do this unshameful plug, and maybe Don Juan brand can reach out to Profit Wells, and we guys can help you to reach that
Absolutely.
coveted position on the first page with the results, right? All right, keep going, Alex.
100%. Yeah, so we can do an audit like for any other brands. If you're
Mhm.
interested to what the profit whales can do for you, just contact us and we'll gather all the technical information about your performance on Amazon. Plus, we will also analyze your listings and what you can do in terms of your buy box and improving the actual conversion rate, because this is actually what matters. Although people think that PPC is the most important part of Amazon, trust me, the most important part is your product and how you actually position yourself and which value you actually give to a customer. All of this can be shown through premium A content, through your sponsor brands campaign, and through your actual listing. So you need to have this brand awareness approach, and you need to always think about which value and which unique selling proposition you actually deliver to your customer.
I just want to add, because we are talking about Amazon, and as you may know, one of the Amazon's leadership principles is customer obsession. So it doesn't matter how good your brand store is, how good your listing is, if your product is mediocre or subpar, so you're not going to get those reviews, you're not going to get those ratings, you're not going to get those comments, and then eventually your conversion rate goes down, and no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to bring it up.
100%. And I believe in the our next episodes, we'll definitely discuss in more detail what's important for the brands in the beginning and how to actually do the branding correctly on Amazon. We'll underpin all the points that are needed for you to successfully launch the brand. Plus, we will also talk about various steps that you need to take into account when launching your storefront as well. So, all of this plays a huge part. And on a bigger picture, you could actually see that this brand is actually ready for top of the funnel marketing, right? So
Oh yeah.
DSP
Oh
is a good
yes.
way for them to go because they're already established. They've got insane reviews. Their SP, SD, SB campaigns are working properly. So for them to get more reach and more customers, they need to get more traffic. And DSP is actually a good way for them to get that traffic. On the other hand,
Absolutely.
for this brand, we would never actually suggest them to launch DSP because they're simply not ready yet. You need to have strong buy box, you need to have good reviews, you need to have strong foundation in terms of your PPC in order to launch the DSP. So DSP is definitely not an option for this brand, and we would need to improve a lot of things before we actually start investing into top of the funnel. Yeah.
And coincidentally, Alexei, I believe a couple of weeks ago there was an update from Amazon that they introduced a dwell time, a store dwell time, as one of the metrics. So now you can actually see how much time shoppers spend in your brand store, right? Like in this way, you can have a very nice correlation, between the quality of your brand store and the dwell time. Meaning, like, if people spend more time in your brand store, reading reviews, poking through those pictures, it signifies that your brand is actually of the good quality. It's not a coincidence that Amazon introduced that metric.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it relates to the quality of your storefront as well, because you can think of storefront as your core, as basically your base, your brand base, where you actually tell about your brand. You can also use storefront for promotions. As a life hack, one of the strategies that some brands use, they actually promote their subscribe and save offers through their storefront. And actually, storefront is the only possible place for you to promote your subscribe and save promotions. So this way, you can actually double down on promotions. And for such products as beauty products, and save is super important. So you can actually utilize your storefront in order to double down on your promotions.
Right, right. That's right. And then for brands out there, if you do want that free audit by Profit Whales, and if you do want your brand or product to be showcased in the next episode, please do reach out and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, I so all in all, I really believe that this full funnel marketing approach really intersects with Profit Whale's mission and vision, because this is the only way to survive on Amazon, to actually use every possible channel and ad type that Amazon allows you to do. And this is what Profit Whales actually does. We help brands to build that full funnel marketing approach.
Because our mission is become your growth partner, the growth partner for your brand, as opposed to being just yet another marketing agencies that collect percentage from your ad spend. No, we are interested to grow with you. We are eager and willing to help you grow, and then we grow with you alone, right? Because that's our mission, and our vision is to be able to help you to connect all those fragmented pieces of a complex ad tech and martech ecosystem, so you can focus on your brand, on growing your brand, on executing your strategy, as opposed to finding yourself in the weeds of technical implementation between different ad tech components. So I think we've come to a logical conclusion of today's episode, and I hope our listeners and viewers found the value. And if you think that Profit Whales can help your brand, please do not hesitate to reach out. We'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you so much. Be well, and we'll see you next time.
See you in the next one. Cheers.
Take care. Thank you so much, Alexei. Talk soon. Bye bye.